Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to Fluent Fusion English. I'm Luke.
And I'm Megan. We're so happy you've joined us today for a special conversation.
You know, Megan and I were talking before we started recording, and we realized something. This time of year is unique. It's like standing on a bridge
A bridge? Between what and what?
between the past and the future. You've just stepped off the land of the old year, and you're about to step onto the land of the new year. But right now, you're in the middle of the bridge. You can look back at where you came from, and you can look forward to where you're going.
That's a beautiful way to see it. And it's the perfect place to have a chat. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a long, relaxed, and real conversation about the year.
We'll share our stories, our simple memories, the things we learned, and even some mistakes we made. And we'll do it all in clear, easy-to-understand English.
Our goal is for you to feel like you're sitting right here with us, listening to friends talk. This is great listening practice. So find a comfortable spot, maybe get a cup of tea, and let's begin.
If you're new to Fluent Fusion English, we'd love for you to be part of our learning community. Just click that subscribe button below. It really helps us.
Let's start crossing that bridge together. So, Luke, here we are on the bridge, as you said. Before we look back, how are you feeling right now, in this moment?
Right now, I feel quiet, in a good way. The holidays are always so loud and full of people, which I love, but now my apartment is quiet. I can hear the heater turn on. I can see the trees outside my window. It feels peaceful. It feels like a deep breath.
A deep breath. Yes, I understand that feeling completely. My feeling is a little different. I feel reflective. My mind is full of pictures, little scenes from the last 12 months. They just pop into my head at random times.
Like what? Give me one of those little scenes.
Okay, one from just a few months ago. I was walking home from the grocery store. It was a normal Tuesday, nothing special, and I saw two little kids trying to fly a kite. It wasn't a windy day at all, so the kite just kept flopping on the ground, but they were running and laughing so hard. Their joy was just huge, for no reason. That tiny, normal moment stuck with me.
I love that. Sometimes the simplest moments are the most powerful. My mind goes to a morning in late April. I woke up very early, before the sun. I couldn't sleep. Instead of getting frustrated, I made coffee and sat by the window. I watched the sky slowly change from black to dark blue to orange. The whole city was so still. I felt completely alone, but not lonely. It was just me and the morning. I think about that a lot.
That sounds beautiful and so calm. It's interesting what our minds choose to remember. So let's give this a structure. Let's start with the simple facts of the year, the things we did. Let's use the past simple tense. It's the most common way to talk about finished actions. Luke, tell me about one thing you accomplished last year, something you finished and felt good about.
One thing I accomplished. Okay. Last year, I finished reading a very long classic novel. It was over 800 pages.
Wow, which one?
Moby Dick. Have you heard of it?
The whale book? Of course. That's a big commitment. Why did you choose that?
It was on my bookshelf for years. I would start it and then stop after 50 pages. It felt like homework. But last year, I decided I was going to finish it no matter what. I read just 20 pages every night before bed. No more, no less.
And did you like it?
Some parts were slow, I won't lie, but other parts were amazing. The language, the descriptions of the sea, and when I turned the last page, I felt this real sense of pride. It was a small, personal goal, but I did it. I finished it.
I finished it. Past simple. That's a great accomplishment. It's not about running a marathon, it's about the personal challenges. My accomplishment was different. Last year, I saved enough money to buy a new laptop. My old one was so slow, it took 5 minutes just to open an email.
That's a very practical accomplishment.
It is. It wasn't exciting, but it required discipline. I stopped buying coffee out every day. I cooked at home more. I put a little money aside each week. And in October, I walked into the store and bought it. I carried the box home and I set it up, and it was so fast. It felt like a reward for being patient and responsible.
That's a fantastic real-life skill. Good for you. Okay, let's talk about fun. Past simple for fun things. What was the most fun thing you did last year?
The most fun? That's easy. Last summer, some friends and I drove to the coast for a weekend. We didn't plan much. We just got a small rental house near the beach. For 2 days, we swam in the ocean, we ate terrible but delicious fast food, we played card games, and talked for hours. We didn't look at our phones. We just were. It was the most relaxed and fun I'd been in a long time.
That sounds perfect. Sometimes the best plans are no plans. My most fun thing was a concert. My favorite band was touring, and I bought a ticket even though I was going alone. I was nervous about going to a big concert by myself,
I would be too.
but it was incredible. I stood in the crowd, and everyone was just happy, singing every word. I danced, I sang at the top of my lungs. No one knew me, and I didn't know them, but we were all connected by the music. It was a pure joy. I went alone, but I didn't feel alone for a second.
That's a brave and wonderful thing to do. I'm glad you did that.
Me too. So we have accomplishments and fun, but a year isn't just a list of events. It changes us. We grow. For that, we use the present perfect tense. We say, I have become, or I have learned. It means it started in the past, but the result is true now in the present.
Right. So, Luke, how have you changed? What is different about the Luke sitting here today compared to the Luke from last January?
That's a deep question. Let me think. I believe I have become a better listener.
A better listener. Tell me more.
Before, when someone was talking to me, I was often just waiting for my turn to speak. My mind was busy. This year, I tried to really practice listening, to not interrupt, to ask follow-up questions, to just be present with the person who was talking.
What made you want to change that?
I had a conversation with my grandfather. He was telling me a story about his childhood, a story I'd probably heard before. But instead of saying, I know, I just listened. And I heard new details. I saw the emotion in his face. He felt heard, and I felt more connected to him. That showed me the power of real listening. So I've been trying to do that more with everyone.
That is a truly meaningful change. It makes your relationships richer. For me, I think I have become more resilient.
Resilient. That means you can bounce back from difficulty, right?
Yes, exactly. Things don't knock me down for as long as they used to. A project fails at work, I feel disappointed, but I can say, okay, what's the next step? A plan falls through, I can adapt more quickly. I don't dwell in the negative space as much.
How did you develop that muscle?
I think it was just practice. Last year had a lot of small disappointments and changes. Every time I got through one, I realized, oh, I'm still here. I'm okay. It built my confidence. So now, when something happens, I have this memory in my body that says, you handled it before, you can handle this. I have become tougher in a gentle way.
That's an incredibly valuable skill for life. I admire that. So, we're growing, we're changing, but growth usually comes from lessons, and the biggest lessons often come from the most difficult times. What was the single biggest lesson you learned last year, Megan?
My biggest lesson. This is a personal one. My lesson was that my boundaries are necessary and kind.
Boundaries. You mean saying no?
Yes, but more than that. It's about what I allow into my time, my energy, and my mind. I used to say yes to everything, to try to please everyone. It left me exhausted and resentful.
Last year, I had a situation with a friend who was very demanding of my time. It was causing me stress. What did you do?
I had a gentle but clear conversation. I said, I value our friendship, but I need some space on weekends for myself. I was terrified she would be angry, but she wasn't. She actually understood, and our friendship became better because it was more honest. I learned that a boundary isn't a wall to keep people out. It's a gate that I control. It lets good things in and protects my peace. Setting that boundary was an act of self-respect, and it was also kinder to my friend in the long run.
It was. I felt anxious and angry. I kept trying to force things to go back to my plan, but I couldn't. The lesson came slowly. I learned to focus on what I could control, my reaction, my attitude, the small actions I could take each day. I couldn't control my relative's health, but I could control sending a card or making a phone call. I learned to hold my plans more loosely, to be firm in my intentions, but flexible in my methods. The lesson was, you cannot control everything, and trying to will only make you unhappy. Focus on your response.
Hold my plans more loosely. I love that phrase. That's a lesson that takes a lifetime to learn, but it sounds like you made a big step.
I really tried. And you know, these lessons came from what we might call mistakes or failures. We shouldn't regret those.
Regret is a heavy word. It's like carrying a backpack full of rocks from the past.
Exactly. I prefer to see them as teachers, even the silly mistakes. Did you have any funny teachers last year? Any mistakes that make you laugh now?
Oh, many. One time, I was on a video call for work and I thought I was on mute. I started having a full conversation with my cat using a silly voice. Oh, Mr. Whiskers, are you a hungry boy? Yes, you are.
Please tell me you were not on mute.
I was not on mute. There was a long silence, and then my manager said, Megan, we can all hear your conversation. My face was bright red.
I would have wanted to disappear, but it's a funny story now.
It is. It taught me to always double check the mute button. Your turn.
My funny mistake was trying to be a handy person. My kitchen drawer was stuck. I decided I would fix it. I got my tools, I looked confident, I pulled and pushed, and then the whole drawer came out in my hands, and all the forks and knives and spatulas flew everywhere, all over the kitchen floor. It was a huge mess, and the drawer was still broken. I had to call my landlord.
So your lesson was?
My lesson was, know your limits. Some jobs are for professionals.
Wise words. So we've spent a lot of time looking back. We've honored the old year. Now our feet are pointing forward on this bridge. The new year is ahead. How do you feel about stepping onto that new land, Luke?
I feel optimistic and curious. I don't have a list of 50 resolutions. I have a theme.
A theme for the year?
Yes, my theme is connection. I want to focus on deepening the connections I already have with my family, my friends, even with myself, and maybe being open to new, meaningful connections. More real conversations, less small talk. More letters, fewer texts. That's my intention.
That's a beautiful theme. It feels warm and human. I feel ready. I feel lighter, like I've unpacked a suitcase from a long trip. I've taken out the good souvenirs and learned from the things that got wrinkled. Now the suitcase is empty, ready for a new journey. I'm ready to be surprised again, ready to learn new lessons, to have more simple, perfect moments.
That's the spirit.
And now we sincerely want to bring you into this conversation. This is your moment to practice.
In the comments section below, we invite you to share. You can use the past simple tense. Tell us, last year I finally, or my funniest mistake was, or I felt proud when I.
Or you can use the present perfect tense and tell us how you've changed. This year I have discovered, or I have learned to be more, or I have become better at.
Don't worry about perfection. Just write 1 or 2 sentences in English. This is your safe space to practice. We read every single comment, and we love learning about your journeys. You inspire us.
If listening to our long, natural conversation today was helpful for your English, please let us know by giving this video a thumbs up. It means more than you know.
And if you know someone who is also learning English, please share this video with them. Learning is better together.
From both of us at Fluent Fusion English, thank you for your time, your attention, and for being part of our community.
No matter what your year held, you learned, you grew, and you moved forward. That is always something to be proud of.
We wish you a wonderful, hopeful start to your new year. Keep practicing, keep learning, and we'll see you in the next video.
Take care, everyone. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching. For more amazing content, and subscribe to Fluent Fusion English.